One of the teachers said to me, you never know that one of these kids might, be inspired by this experience to want to be an artist in some way in their life. And I was telling her the story about when I saw a lecture. David Hockney was giving a lecture at the Metropolitan Museum of Art when I was in college, and I was invited to attend that lecture, and at the time I was at NYU studying business, so the concept of art as a career was not in my mind at all. But I do vividly recall sitting there and listening to him talk about his work and showing some slides of the things he was creating and talking about his process. And I never thought that this could be a career, that this was something that somebody could do. I did like art, and there were certain artists that I really loved, but I really never was able to think about it in terms of how, this might be something that I could do. And still I have to spend time doing other things to help make it all happen. But more and more I'm making art, sharing my art with people, having exhibitions, and doing these types of events where I tell my story, show examples of my work, and then lead these workshops where everybody has a chance to create themselves. And I feel very fortunate that I can do this. Maybe the goal of it should be to let people know that this is something that's possible. I think the real message is that we can come up with an idea of something we want to do and then work really hard to make it happen. Somebody might not realize how long and hard you have to work to make a dream happen, but I feel like it's a lifetime goal. And the reason that it's real is because it is my life. It's what I do. It's how I spend my time. It's not a hobby, it's a real huge part of my life. Besides visiting schools in the summer, over the last 15 years I have developed this traveling program I call the Modern Pop Art Experience, which I have been taken to libraries. Once my book was published, An Artist's America, I found that it ended up in a good number of library collections. I never realized that my book would end up in public libraries, and that is a really great honor for me. I also found that libraries have summer reading programs and that every community in the country has libraries. So, there's an evolution to it all, but I started visiting libraries, museums, art festivals, art fairs, art centers with this workshop. And it's basically a shorter version of what I did today at the school, where I give a short talk, show examples of my work, provide materials so everybody could make their own collage in a hands-on art-making environment. And then I give everybody posters. At this point now, which is spring 2024, I've done my art program in either a school, a library, a museum, or an art fair in 43 of the U.S. states. I've also done my program in Canada and in Europe. I've gone to Europe 5 times, and I've gone to Canada 3 times now. But I've done 43 states, and my goal is to do all 50. Next month, I'm starting my summer pop art reading tour, and I'm gonna hit 5 states, which I have not done. So I made a really huge effort over the winter calling places. Some places I had been in touch with in the past. It's a big road trip to go out to the West, so I had to really plan a tour. I can't just pop on over to California and do one show. I'm really excited. I'm gonna be going to the desert in Arizona and New Mexico. I'm gonna be going to Los Angeles, California, Southern Nevada. I'm gonna be in Colorado, all throughout the state, in the mountains, on the plains. I even got a couple gigs in Utah, Wyoming. I think I'm gonna be doing somewhere between 75 and 90. I'm still waiting to finalize my schedule, but getting to see the country in this way, not just traveling to different places, but when I get there, having a room full of people who I get to share my story with and show them some suggested ideas for their project. And then I keep finding myself in rooms full of people who are totally in the creative zone, trying to make their own artwork. I have my CD and cassette player that still works, and I play my music that I like, try to recreate the way that I make art in my own studio. And then I offer all the participants a poster. So it's kind of like this Johnny Appleseed approach, where I have this experience with people, and not only do they get to meet me and learn my story and see examples of my work, but they get to actually do the same project that I do to create my pieces. so they see exactly what the process is. And they not only leave with something they've made, but they leave with one of my prints, which they've started to end up in schools, libraries, businesses, people's homes, dorm rooms. And, you know, it's become my way of getting my work out into the world. And it seems to be working.